It is 7:01. I will call the Ripon Fire District Board Tuesday, May 6th to order. Start with roll call. Kruger. Iverson.
Here.
Dankert.
Here.
Page.
Here.
Vandenbrink. Sorensen.
Here.
Gotsky. Here. Take a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Agenda is approved. Open it up for public comment. Last chance?
No.
Good, all right. I'm gonna take this, it's not a public comment for the fire board, but I did get a request, so I'm gonna say it because we're live here. So on May 7th, tomorrow, there's a lawn concert, the Symphonic Wind Ensemble, Jazz Ensemble, and Rally Band at Ripon College, outside on the steps of the Great Hall. This is grill out food, beer and wine for those of age. It's available for students and the public. So we'd welcome anybody that is open tomorrow at 6 o'clock, if I didn't say the time, 6 o'clock, to show up and support Ripon College and the community. I'll close public comment.
Is there an upper age you have to be under, or?
No, it's,
You got 10 or 15 years before you hit that average.
Well, I was looking at Tom.
He's got 20 years.
all right, we'll move on to the secretary's report. Everybody second to look it over, and then I would take any conversation or a motion to approve the secretary's report.
Oh, it's second. I did not send out the minutes.
I do.
Did you guys get the minutes?
No.
I got the financials, but not
You didn't get the
I didn't
minutes?
see the calls.
Oh, no, that I hand out here. You guys, did you guys get the minutes from last meeting?
I did.
Get the-
We can move on to treasurer's report? Okay. All right, we'll move on to treasurer's report first, so we have that. Ellen, anything of note that you want to chime in?
No, Heather would be the person to ask. I think it's just pretty standard stuff.
Okay.
I just have a comment, more so than a question on the DOT inspections. Looks like we were getting a lot of them done, and I was gonna ask if there was anything outstanding or that seems like it'd be upcoming that, you know, might be an issue in the next time period.
I don't believe so on that stuff.
Yeah,
It came back pretty good, so I don't think there will be.
okay, good.
The only thing, if there is, is trying to contemplate tires. So some of them needed tires,
Yep.
and
Because they're wore out or because of the age?
because the age, not so much because they're wore out. That's the big question is, you know, what do you get for them if we do replace them, or do we keep them? And then Chief and I were also talking with Coop is, okay, let's figure out the most important apparatus, the ladder, frontline engine, and whatever other apparatus, and then just kind of replace as we go, you know, so that's the dilemma. We're still kind of trying to figure out to get a price of, you know, which ones we would need to be
Right.
replaced first, so.
Because if we go and replace a bunch of them all at once, then in 7 to 10 years,
You're gonna
we're
be
right
doing it
back where
again.
we are, and
Correct.
that is a big cost, I know.
Correct.
Some of that's just plain baloney anyway.
Yeah, well, exactly, if the tires are in great shape, I mean, there's the treads are all on, you know.
You can run, 80, 100,000 miles on those things. They won't have that as long as we own the engine.
Right.
Just like turnout gear,
Right.
you know, we've been buying turnout gear a lot of time, so we're
A
not,
couple at a time.
yeah.
Correct, so you're not buying 20 sets at once, yeah. So, that, other than that, they've actually been little things, you know, tweaks here and there, so.
One other question.
Yeah.
How often do they have to be DOT checked every year?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Just like your semi does.
Sometimes you can find people that just come out and do them too,
Yep.
at a price that's, I don't know what it should cost, but.
Well, if nobody had any questions for Heather, I would entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I'll second it.
Not that we have a lot of choice anyway.
Yeah, we could get better, you know, we could give stronger direction, hey, we don't need to buy light bulbs or batteries. And then we'll be doing our meetings with our treasurer.
Thank you, probably pass the DOT
No,
about what.
not unless anybody has questions.
All those in favor of accepting the treasurer's report, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We will
Thank you, Heather.
go back to item number 4 for the secretary's report for April.
I will make a motion to approve the meetings from the Tuesday, April 1st. Approve the minutes from the Tuesday, April 1st meeting.
Motion by Mark,
Did I make it, was it April 2nd? I put April 1st
No,
down,
it was
didn't
April 1st, it was on April Fool's Day.
I? Oh, gee. It was April 1st.
I'll second that.
You're close.
seconded by Tom. There's no other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Secretary's report for April is approved. Chief's report, Chief Hollis.
Paperwork's coming around here.
There we go. Thank you.
Did everybody get through the monthly report for the calls? You can see on the back there, total calls for the year so far are 82. 19 paid on call, 1 junior firefighter, 7 part-time members. In April, we participated in a Phi Delta firefighter run, which is Ripon College. They help us with our chicken barbecue, so we participated in their Phi Delta run. The day crew went to one of the elementary schools, played dodgeball with the after-school program. Down here, 2024 April calls for the month were 36. Total calls for the year at this time last year were 161. We are down 79 calls from this time last year. Any questions with the monthly calls and activities that we had done? Moving on to fire inspections, approximately 270 of them are done. We are probably right around 60 to 70% done with the first round. Heather, you can maybe elaborate a little bit on that. You got a couple other grids you're working on or something, right?
Yeah, so we broke the city down in groups, I think I talked about that last time.
Yep.
We broke the city down into 6 groups. They have, I think it is 2 full groups done, 3 full groups done. And they're working on a couple of them in the last, in 2 of the groups. Then we have 1 big group that we have to do, and that's the college. So we're kind of waiting until college is out, because it's easier to get in the dorms and stuff like that. And having to worry about people's schedules. So, and that's like a day, day and a half
Just a question on the college. Do you have to go back and do the science building again, or since you've been with them the whole process, is that?
I'm not sure, I think we'll probably do it just to make sure. We're gonna have to do it once this year, so, we'll probably just go in, cause it's part of the, so we keep it on the schedule. So, once we get the college done, which is a big number, group number 6, it's, you know, there's not a ton more left to do, so we're doing pretty good on inspections, so.
Thank you.
Next on here is update on equipment and maintenance, action if needed. We had a couple water leaks. They ended up to be small water leaks on engine 14 and tender 13. Those have currently been fixed, so we no longer have water leaks on those two pieces of apparatus.
Fixed in-house, or you had to take them to the?
We had to take them out. One was a little extensive, they had to go down inside the tank. The other one was tight quartered and we didn't have quite the wrenches and the tools to get into that stuff. So those were sent out. Otherwise, everything else is, knock on wood, running good.
So was the tank actually leaking or?
With a fitting on the tank where it screws into the main part of the tank, the thread sealer basically gets old and dries up. That's where it was leaking. So I just had to reseal it.
Yeah.
So,
Your new piece of equipment that you guys got, you showed us last time, in the bags, have you had an opportunity to use?
we did, yeah. We did use the K-12 or the K chop saw, the big chop saw. We did
The
use
last
that
training.
at the last training.
Worked well?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does
works
work
really
well.
well.
That's all I got on that.
Chief Cologne?
All right, a couple of the big items that been working on when I've been down here. First thing was the mutual aid box alarm cards that we carry. So some of them haven't been reviewed for quite some time. So we went through the cards. Well, first of all, before we start going through cards, Chief Hollins and Chief Donovan met with the Utica Fire Department, the chief and deputy chief, and kind of went through some of the cards where we could move them up in our status, in our alarms, because they are our neighbors. So we moved them up in some of the different cards that we have. Once they met then with Utica, then we begin the process of the update. And so when you update the cards, then they go out to the departments that we either moved around, moved down, move up, for them to have some approval. And that's 30 days. It takes 30 days for that process. And then once they come back as approved, then we're gonna be forwarding them to the president of the MABUS in the county. So that should be probably within the next couple days, I think, as the 30 days are up. So then we'll have all updated mutual aid box cards, which is another good accomplishment, because I think there's like 10 of them. So there's a lot of departments, a lot of stuff on the cards. So that's a good thing to get off the list. And so then I've been working on the standard operating guidelines and policies of the fire department, and that's been a process too, because there was some of the files, had old ones in it. Some of them haven't been reviewed, updated, and so my goal is to categorize the SOGs into administrative, operational, and then we may branch out into like firefighter safety ones. And so it's just a matter of reviewing them, getting them in order. I think I've literally been, the last 3 days I've been down here, I've been just strictly working on SOGs, trying to get them all in order. There was probably 5 or 6 SOGs that had the same number, so I'm just renumbering them, getting them in order. So it's a process, and like I said, it doesn't matter if it's here or somewhere other department. SOGs are one of those things that, oh yeah, we haven't looked at them for 5 years, we better take a look at them as new trends, new, routines, whatever. So, the new firefighters that started, they were at, training last night, and, they both did very well in their, they started with the 2-minute drill, which is to see how quickly they could get all their turnout gear on. And so each time you do that, they get a little more efficient or figure out a quicker, faster way to get it on. So the nice thing is that they're coming, you know, we just hired them and they've been to both the last couple trainings, and so that's good. Chief Donovan attended the Fox Valley Tech Job Fair, up at the Tech, and you had, what'd you say, about 20 kids that took out applications, or
12.
12, okay.
12. We had a
So-
lot of kids stop, but like some of them like lived in Manitowoc, or that would be too far for them to travel. They were really interested in, if they ever moved into this area, that they would be interested in doing like the part-time day shift thing. So,
Yeah.
I think it was a success.
Yeah, and I think once you continue to do that and get your name out, and you have kids that, even if it's one or two that are here doing the day shift and they're up at the Tech, and the word, you know, get some word of mouth, I think you'll see that we'll get some more, candidates from that, so. Always good to get the name out. We got their email addresses, so you can shoot them out emails, kind of, you know, see what they're thinking or what we can do to, you know, get them here or whatever, so it's all good. So, been busy month, and, but like I said, slowly but surely, we're checking off boxes of items that we all sat down with officers to say, hey, we need to get this done, and so, but things are looking good.
I've got a question about the Mavis cards.
Yeah.
So you use those to kind of decide when and who you're gonna call as, you know, a fire gets more involved or as you need more assistance, right?
Yes,
So then you're kind of looking at, who our neighbors are, that we know if they have a certain piece of equipment they might have, or they have certain training that we, you know, may not have that many people in.
correct.
So is this a good opportunity to go and talk to the other chiefs in the area and just kind of say, hey, we're looking at our Mavis cards, you know, what are you guys doing with your Mavis cards?
Yes,
And
they
get some
do that.
feedback?
Yes, so county chiefs meetings is a good opportunity to talk with other chiefs. And then Fond du Lac County, Green Lake County, they all, you know, there's a president of Mavis, and so the president of those groups reassure, making sure the cards are updated. Sometimes they call them a card party, where the chiefs will get together and they'll just all do it, you know, at one time. The nice thing now, from even just a few years ago, is there's a website that has software called eMavis. And so instead of handwriting on the Excel spreadsheet and crossing things out, you can go right online and
Has a
type
form.
everything in, has the form, and then once you're done updating, you can send it, and it automatically goes out to all the departments that you change. So there's that part of it, you could have a little disconnect for sure. But having the presidents of those groups, keep all the departments in line, I think that's a good thing to be able to say that. And that's probably a topic at the fire chiefs, county fire chiefs, is that, hey, anybody got questions on Mavis, and then it's
Yeah,
discussed.
it's because it changed over to Heba.
Yes, it's a
now,
different company, yeah.
So especially at the Fond du Lac County, Fire Chiefs meeting, that was like a big topic, because everybody was trying to get theirs updated and into the
Yeah.
Heba system the correct way,
Cool.
so.
And you've been going to most of the fire chief associations? Or?
Hollis and I both
Both?
have been,
Okay.
yeah,
Even though
yep.
All right.
I have an EMS class on some of them, and I can't go then, and she goes, but
So-
we've been going in the majority of them.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else, any other questions for chiefs? Move on to old business, PAA update. Alan, did you have anything specifically today you wanted to say on the PAA update?
So I think everybody got a copy of it, and then there was a presentation at the city council meeting, and this is, you know, one recommendation. There are, you know, I don't know that it's the only recommendation. Heather and I had talked about it, and if there could be other recommendations to be considered, but I think for those of you who are not at the city council meeting, I had asked administration to look at specific funding, because although the report has a suggestion of costs, that doesn't tell us where the money is going to come from. So I had specifically asked for more detailed information on that proposal and what it would cost, what it would actually cost to run a dual department and where that money would come from.
Anybody else have anything they want to talk on PAA? We can move on. There will be more updates. You guys are all in the loop on that, so.
When do you anticipate that you'll have a decision-making?
I don't know, I don't even know when we would have a decision making. I mean, I would say, you know, for anybody listening too, I mean, we had a hypothetical proposal from the consultant, right? And in that proposal is their hypothetical best fit for, you know, the city and the two departments. So neither of those are picked, right? I mean, we haven't picked to combine, we haven't picked to do that proposal that they even made. So the first step is the city administrator, like Ellen said, going back and actually looking at the budget. You know, speaking at a city councilor level, looking at their budgeting from PAA, there's a couple of assumptions, I would say, that they made that aren't necessarily potentially accurate, right? So there does need to be a little more fine tuning in that before we'd even be able to look at it at a city level. So, you know, I would say by, May, by June, I would say maybe the city administrator will come back with maybe something for us to at least look at a little more. Let's say it's a ways out for a decision.
Yeah, I want to reiterate that the city of Ripon doesn't even have a direction to even pursue merging the two departments. It was just a proposal, it's just a discussion point, it's just looking into the future to see how things may be needed or things may not be needed, and right now there's not a decision made either way. So from our point of view here at the district is, I mean, we just have to keep operating and keep running as we are, with kind of assuming that nothing is gonna happen until more information comes, because we can't bet or gamble anything on that may or may not be, you know?
From what I understand, everything in that report is definitely not, I mean, it's, maybe isn't gonna come to fruition either. You know, maybe
It could be
parts or
changed, yeah, I
hybrid.
mean,
Yeah.
like all the assumptions that were made, or if there's savings or not savings, you know, that even 6 months from now, it might be completely different, you know, we don't know. So, you know, from my point of view, as far as the district is concerned, is we're gonna keep operating as we are. We're gonna keep being Ripon Area Fire District, and we have to, because we can't just decide to change because of what may be until there's more information.
Jonathan?
Yeah,
I do believe, in reading that report, that it is really driven by the pinch that EMS is feeling right now, and their scheduling and the number of calls have been increasing. I think as our population ages, that calls will continue to increase. So I suspect that EMS is beyond capacity right now, and this is looking at a solution to assist with EMS. And the discussions have been going on and off over the past several years about combining the departments and getting some efficiencies that way. So I think it's really driven by EMS.
yep, I'd agree with you. You know, talked around your question probably, somewhere in there, is there an answer to your question?
Gives me an update.
All right, Pierce Manufacturing update, anything?
No,
Same old, same old.
same old, yep, yep, anything different.
So we're looking at 26 or 27?
Last we heard was like March of 26, so,
So not that far out.
no. No, less than a year,
I think that was in the consulting report wrong. I think they put 25.
yeah,
No, yeah, might be 26.
yeah.
Soy foam?
Yes, soy foam, I'll speak on that a little bit. I did get a pail in. They donated the pail. I paid for the shipping to get it here. A pail is $180 for the soy foam. The original, or the normal foam that we could get, or the best foam, like Class A foam we could get, you're looking at 170, wasn't it 100?
It was anywhere between 124 and 170, depending on what company
So
you
this
got
stuff
it
is like
from.
$10 more, a gallon,
Nice, yeah.
so.
And
How
it's,
how many gallons would you go through? I
We
mean, I
haven't
know you
gone
can
through
tune
any
it,
yet.
right? I
We haven't
mean,
even used this foam that's on the rig now.
No, no,
We just
but, yeah,
don't
we're
use it
waiting
much.
to, yeah.
So we're gonna actually maybe try some of this out tomorrow. We're gonna play with it a little bit on one of the rigs, see how it quotes things and how it sticks to it and how it lasts. So down the road, we can maybe
Make a decision.
continue to buy it. You can either buy it by the pail, you can buy it by the 55-gallon drum, or you can buy a 275-gallon tote of it. But a 275-gallon tote would last us probably 10 years. So I don't know if I'd even want it on the shelf that long. So I would rather just buy it by the pail.
That's what I was gonna ask. It being soy-based, does it have a recommended lifespan? And is that a little bit different than any other product?
It didn't really say, I don't think, on that for lifespan, but I know they praise it, especially if you have a farm where they're using it to put out hay bales. The animals can still continue to eat that hay with this chemical on it or the soy foam on it. It doesn't hurt the cows, it doesn't hurt the cattle, any of that stuff. So it's really user-friendly
Okay.
all
$10
all
more,
around.
there's a benefit
Yeah,
to the community for using it.
it's environmentally
Safe,
more
yes.
sound, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people stick their finger in it and lick it. I didn't try that, so I'm
They
not gonna either.
they haven't died yet.
Yeah, they haven't died
They
yet.
will
so-
eventually, but we don't know.
But that's the gist of the soy foam. We're gonna try it tomorrow and see how it goes.
Okay, cool. You'll
Yeah.
keep that on for the update for next month then?
Sure, yep, we'll give you an update on how it worked.
Okay. All right, moving on to new business. First item is election of officers. Yeah, Ellen, this is a new one for me. I haven't been here before, so what do we do? Just
Well,
make a mo-
typically we've done it where you ask for nominations for president. We do them separately, and then and then you vote on it.
Okay.
And then nominations for vice president, a motion and a second, and then you vote on it. And the same for secretary treasurer.
Okay, all right. I'd open up nominations for president, if anyone has any.
I'd nominate Ellen Sorensen.
Is that a passive aggressive?
nobody wants to vote on it.
All right, so motion by Doug for Ellen. Do I have a second for Ellen?
I'll second it.
All right. This is one of those things where I have to ask 3 times, isn't it?
No, you don't, no, you don't have to.
Okay, all right, I won't. Any other nominations for president? All right, all those in favor of Ellen continuing president for the 25 to 26 fire district president, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We'll open up nominations for vice president.
I'll nominate Jonathan Gatsky as vice president.
I'll second that.
Any other nominations for vice president? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstain. Open up the nominations for secretary treasurer. Doug, are you still good doing it?
I'm still good doing it, but someone's gotta nominate me.
I'll nominate Doug.
Motion by Gary, nominate Doug.
I'll second.
Seconded. Okay. Any other nominations for secretary or treasurer? All those in favor of Doug, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. So president is Ellen, vice president is Jonathan, secretary treasurer is Doug. So no change. Moving on to the next item, the drone. We talked about this last time.
We got kind of an estimate on what they think ours is worth, and as the time goes on and new technology comes out, it's gonna come down. So like, we asked probably about a month ago, and they said that they thought it was worth about $1,000. So, but
So do we want to look, is anyone in the neighboring areas that you know of would be in need of it, and we could use that to give to someone, and then,
I don't, I mean, I can put a feeler out, but I don't know off the top of my head,
Yeah, Brandon Fairwater just got one. Drone,
yeah,
you,
we got one. I'm not sure if Utica has one or
yeah,
not.
I don't know,
Or Green Lake or Berlin, or Kazan.
yeah.
Would you sell it on surplus?
We could.
We could try, yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
And that would be an action item.
okay. So,
I,
well, yeah, we got action if needed, so,
I think personally I would feel comfortable doing that kind of, almost an in-kind donation to a neighboring, if they were gonna use it for training, or if they didn't currently have one. And if no one in our immediate vicinity seems, you know, if they're like, well, maybe we'll take it, you know, then that doesn't seem worth it. But if they're like, oh yeah, we really wanted to train up somebody, or we were gonna do two, you know, or something that way, I think that would be worthwhile to assist them. And if they're not, you know, real eager to take it, then I think we should, I'll make a motion then. If that's not the case, we'll put it into surplus.
I would support that, that'd be my preference. Work for everybody else.
Yeah, I'll second that motion. I think if, you know, it's gonna do, the surrounding, I mean, they're coming to help us anyway. The more trained they are, the better off we are.
Okay, so what was the motion again?
Motion would be to reach out to immediate neighboring fire districts or companies, if they have an immediate need or an eager need to use it, that we would donate it to them. And if there's no, let's say,
Takers.
enthusiastic responses, then we would put it to surplus for sale.
You good with that, Heather?
yep,
Okay.
All right, so motion by Mark, second by Gear. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes. Donations?
we have two donations, we have an anonymous donation of $3,000, and then we have, a donation of $900 from Seneca Foods,
How much was the second amount?
$900,
From Seneca.
yep.
Anything earmarked that it needs to go, or just open wherever? Okay. All right, I'll take a motion to accept the $3,000 anonymous donation.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes for accepting a $3,000 anonymous donation. Take a motion to accept a $900 Seneca donation.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Mark?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Faster, Tom.
Aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes to accept the $900 Seneca donation. Both are free to use, so, okay. All right, the last action of new business is a letter from the Ripon Area Fire District lawyer. You all have the letter. It's to take home, read on your own. Read here, there's no action that we need to come to tonight from it, so.
yeah, it's just a reminder about open meeting laws for the district, and the fact that we need to post whenever there is a potential quorum, such as like for the League of Women Voters, because Jonathan and I and Jolene are all city council members. Typically, at the end of a press release, I will post, as is at the bottom of your agenda here, that there may be a majority of the city council of the Ripon area, or of Ripon. So that's just a reminder from the district lawyer about those guidelines.
All right, so agenda for future meetings. I have basically the same update that we have. We'll keep PAA, we'll keep Pierce, we'll keep soy foam. We'll have a different update on soy foam. Is there anything, anybody else? Mark?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, sorry, I got called, Ellen.
go ahead.
as we get more into having our training scheduled out and we have a better idea of, you know, what we're gonna do and when we're gonna do it, I was wondering if we could maybe start to reach out to our districts around us and, you know, coordinate or see if they're covering similar topics or maybe completely different topics. And just start to work on those relationships, especially as it relates to the training, because I know everyone here has been putting a lot of effort into the training, and I'd like to really, you know, leverage that and use that to help everyone, and then have them, you know, help train us as well, because I think it helps when you're on scene with everyone that kind of understand.
And we have done that in the past.
Yeah.
We have worked with our neighboring departments, and we train here, we go there,
Mhm.
and yes, so everybody's on the same page, kind of.
Yep.
Good.
How do you pick that? Just in the, like, the chief's meeting, or just informally, like, you hear that they're gonna do something, and then you
This,
guys?
like, Brandon will put out a thing that says, hey, we're gonna do this training on this night. If you have any people that wanna come over and do it, cause it's not always on our same training night, so other people have other things going on.
Yep.
So we put it out to the department, hey, this department's gonna do training, who wants to go? And then whoever signs up, that's not on call can go.
Utica put on a big LP fire once,
Yeah.
training, and we all attended that.
We all went, we had somebody cover our station, so we all could go over there, cause we thought it was worth it.
Green
Nice.
bin,
Awesome.
bag,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
stuff that you can't.
Right.
Not to-
Put that on, come back to it. Anybody, anything else?
Yes.
Ellen,
Jonathan, I'd like to add, discussion about disposal of engines. And that's a result of having to purchase tires for these vehicles that perhaps we don't even really use. And maybe the chiefs could work with Cooper to come in with a recommendation.
Yes, definitely.
All right, thanks, Alan. Okay, all right, our next regular meeting is scheduled for June 3rd. I would take a motion to adjourn to closed session pursuant to state statute 19.851F, considering financial, medical, social, or personnel histories or disciplinary data of specific persons, preliminary consideration of specific personnel problems or the investigation of charges against specific persons, except where B applies, which, if discussed in public, would be likely to have a substantial adverse effect upon the reputation of any person referred to in such histories or data or involved in such problems or investigations.
I so move.
Moved by Tom,
I'll second.
seconded by Mark. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned to closed session at 7:38.